Welcome back to our last panel, the Mosse Fellows panel number 2. Like everybody else, I am deeply grateful to everyone who has helped put on this wonderful conference. I was a good friend of George's. He meant a great deal to me, and it's been really marvelous to hear the stories about him, many of which I didn't know, and to engage in this celebration of the effects of George as a person and George as a scholar. I'm going to introduce the 4 panel members. They'll each speak for about 20 minutes. I'll give a brief comment, and then we'll open it for questions, first of all for the panel, and then more generally, since this is the last official panel of this very interesting Congress. Rebekka Grossmann will be talking to us about, under the title Southeast of Berlin, a German Jewish photojournalist in India. She's a PhD candidate at Hebrew University. Her project, which is called Imagining Encounters, Photography, Mobility, and the Creation of a Multinational Space in Mandate Palestine, is funded by the George L. Mosse Program in History and by the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel School for Advanced Studies in the Humanities. She's been a fellow at the Leo Baeck Institute of Advanced Leo Baeck Fellowship Program, and she's also working as a research assistant in a project run by Professor Ofer Ashkenazi on the history of Jewish photography in Germany under Nazi rule. David Harrisville will be talking to us about morality, Nazi ideology, and the individual in the Third Reich. He is a visiting assistant professor of modern European history at Furman University in Greenville, South Carolina. His MA and PhD both come from the University of Wisconsin at Madison. He is a specialist on the modern Europe with a special emphasis on Germany and on military history of the Second World War, together with the history of morality. His current book is called The Moral World of the German Soldier on the Eastern Front, 1941 to 1944. It will appear shortly by Cornell University, and you will be hearing some of the results of his research. Ethan Katz will be speaking on colonialism and the Holocaust in a North African key, how the Jewish insurgency in Algiers reframes the question. Ethan Katz is also a holder of an MA and PhD in history from University of Wisconsin-Madison. He is currently associate professor of history and Jewish studies at Berkeley. He's a specialist on France and the Francophone Empire, Holocaust studies, and the interplay between religious and secular in modern Jewish life. His first book was entitled The Burdens of Brotherhood, Jews and Muslims from North Africa to France, from Harvard in 2015, which won a number of awards. He's co-edited 3 volumes that examine the history of the Jews and secularism and colonialism and the relationship between Jews and Muslims in France before and after the Charlie Hebdo incident. He's currently at work on a new book about the Jewish underground in Algiers during the Second World War, and you will hear, again, some of the first results of that work today. And finally, Sarah Wobick-Segev will be speaking to us on German Jews Beyond Judaism, ? Secularism and Religious Change. She is the Minerva Postdoctoral Fellow at the Richard Koebner Minerva Center for German History at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. She is the author of Homes Away from Home, Jewish Belonging in 20th Century Paris, Berlin, and St. Petersburg, which appeared last year with Stanford University Press. She is the co-editor of The Economy in Jewish History, which appeared in 2011. She is also part of a research project which will produce an edited volume together with Richard Cohen and Asha Biemann on exile and Wahlheimat with de Gruyter momentarily this year, 2019. And her second major monograph is an investigation of several prominent Central European Jewish women whose activities make them sort of producers of Judaism and Jewish religious culture in the public sphere from 1850 to 1950. So join me in welcoming them. And Rebekka, you're on.